Yeah, yeah.
Lazy.
All right, boxing talk. So first, we're going to talk about is the whole Lawrence Okoli, Eddie Hearn situation. Now, if you lot ain't seen it, go on to IFL or Boxing King Media, where Lawrence Okoli talks on basically his side of the whole problem, what's going on between Eddie Hearn and himself. My thoughts on it is, like I said, I'm not privy to see what the contract says, but basically during lockdown, a fight, I can't remember what fight it was, that got pulled, and then Okoli went and fought someone else, and hypothetically, let's just say they got a free fight deal. They've not included that fight he had as part of the free fight deal. To be honest with you, it sounds like some shady business that's going on over there. Uh, it's funny how when Eddie Hearn first came into the scene, and obviously this is when he was with Sky, when he first came into the scene, he used to always talk about, he's not going into no court cases with boxers. He's the guy that he'd like, if they want to go, they can go. Uh, yeah, he's not like all these other promoters that go into get into legal disputes with these fighters and that. Well, to be honest with you, now it seems like you got two cases. Obviously, the Jake Paul situation which is understandable, especially if you're trying to yeah talk bad about the brand and all that kind of stuff. There, I could understand that. But the Lawrence Okoli situation, now I'm going to be fair. Eddie Hearn and Matchroom have done a lot for Okoli, Joshua as well, because in all fairness, Okoli's style, um, like he's not the most entertaining fighter out there. Like obviously, I remember when they were trying to build him up. Like no, I don't want to say it was that like the next AJ, but I remember like you'd be hearing things about you can see shades of Deontay Wilder with Okoli and all that. He's the cruiserweight Wilder. Now I don't know if that was actually coming from Sky or from Matchroom, but that's I feel like in the boxing circle, that is where they were kind of looking at him as. Uh, he's had like the first stinker with a Coley would have been against Isaac Chamberlain. Yeah, like I said, I was obviously backing Chamberlain to win that, coming from south of the river. But the fight was a stinker, like terrible. Holding, holding, the excessive holding was ridiculous. So yeah, it was a bad performance, and it was like Sky. It was like it was a main event. It was in the O2, I believe. Yeah, it was the O2. Yeah, terrible performance. Then he goes in against Matty Askin, and I'm pretty sure this was in Wembley, where it would have been, or was it Cardiff? And it was a stadium fight. And not once again another stinker. Like to be honest with you, he should have been disqualified in that fight. Uh, it was that bad. He should have been disqualified. The amount of holding, the excessive holding, uh, it was not as bad as the Klitschko against Povetkin, but very close to it. So Matchroom and Sky at the time done a lot for Coley, pushed him, Joshua, XD, etc. They've done a lot for Coley because, like I said, any other fighter right now, would not have got the. I want to say same opportunities, but they would have put him behind a shelf or put him on small shows or whatever. Yeah. Now, uh, when Okoli moved over to Shane McGuigan, that's where I could say, all right, you know what? Start to see real improvements with Okoli. Like the range, his range and everything. Like it was timing his punch. Like using his body mechanics really well. So yeah, I would say, and obviously him becoming world champion. Like, let's be real. Eddie Hearn kind of guiding. What was it? Is he WB or WBA? I can't. I'm pretty sure he's WBA. Anyway, don't matter. No, WBR, I believe. One of them anyway. So the the next step, obviously, I don't know. There's Eddie Hearn's talking in regards to he's seen a deal or offer that Sky had for Coley to become the face of Sky Sports. Yeah. Now he's been given the platform to become a face of Sky Sports. Been given a crazy amount of money. Yeah, fighters, listen, go where the most money is. You go with that 110%. Um, and then obviously now Eddie Hearn will say, no, wait a minute, you still got one more fight on the contract. Now, like I said, I don't know the ins and outs, but the way I'm always gonna kind of side with the fighter, the way, and especially the way Eddie Hearn has been for the past, well, ever since he's left Sky, because you could tell the pressure has piling up on him. You could tell. Don't get twisted. He's lost a lot of weight, but it's that stress weight that he's took off, and that's just is what it is. But yeah, with the whole Eddie Hearn situation, you talk about Frank Warren, you talk about Al Heyman, you talk about Bob Arum, you talk about De La Hoya, like all these legal disputes. Like yeah, yeah, we're different, whatever. Mate, you're turning out to just be like the people who you said you weren't going to be like. Yeah. Now, clearly, you have the amount of pressure that you're getting from the zone. Like you can see it. And I'm not going to bring up old news, but it's the whole Conor Ben and Eubank situation. Yeah, that was supposed to be the breakthrough for the zone, for the UK. And yeah, well, we all know what's happened there. So, for Eddie Hearn's reputation, it will be better for Eddie Hearn to let a Coley go. That's just me just looking on it. If not, this is how you're going to be looked at. Because everyone knows about when you lose a fight. I remember, what's his name? Anthony Sims said about, yeah, like when I lost a fight, it's like I never heard from Eddie Hearn again. He don't return his calls or all that talk there. So look, it's a business at the end of the day. With a Coley, yep, you've paid him a lot. Obviously, you gave him a Rolex and all this kind of stuff there. You talk about loyalty. Look, this game, there's no loyalty, and that's what it is. There's no loyalty. You don't tie yourself to one person. You do a deal, see what the best deal's out there for you. You go with the best deal, and then that's it. It's a business at the end of the day. Because this whole loyalty, especially in boxing, you know these guys from nowhere. And that's how I was looking at it. So you got to do what's best for you, what's best for your family, and yeah, and that's it. So yeah, but for the reputation of Eddie Hearn, talking about the whole legal dispute, yeah, you better just because it's not looking good for you right now. Because a lot of people are going to be really skeptical. It's like, mate, do I really want to sign with the Zone? Do I really want to sign with Matchroom? Like, they're not really doing numbers. They ain't pulling the numbers. Like, you can even tell that through the Olympics. Like, how many, like, Sky swapped, basically took all of them. We'll see how that goes. So it's just not looking good. Anyway, so what we've got here, we've got George Gambosa's blasts Teofimo over his excuses after a poor performance. Yeah, I don't know, like I said, Teofimo, going back to what I said in the post-fight review, with Teofimo, if he don't step up, he needs to call it a day because you're in a very dangerous division. You talk about calling out Regis Prograis. I'm telling you right now, he will literally annihilate you. Yeah, you're talking about Josh Taylor. Mate, yeah, you better pump the brakes on that. And to be honest with you, And George Gambosis took, I want to say he took so much, he took so much away from me from that fight. And I know no one was giving Gambosis a chance. Like even myself, I thought, yeah, you know what? I'd just see a Teofimo win, and then like let's see if we get undisputed with Haney and Lopez. But yeah, Gambosis ripped up the script and said, "Nah, mate, these titles are going back to Australia," and that's what happened. That's what he did. Yeah, Lopez is it's a very, because I know a lot of people talking about his partner and that situation there. I don't know too much about it, but yeah, you could tell it's just completely off. He's off character. So I just hope he sorts himself out real quick, especially if he wants to continue. So Eddie Hearn upset with the loss to Warrington. Yeah, okay. Ryan Garcia. Yeah, so Crawford back in my previous fight. Crawford's open for Spence or Charlo at next at 147 or 154. Yeah, so you basically call him both. I've never seen a guy. Basically, I remember Bruce Vane said that he is really the what did he call? What did he call Crawford? The modern day Marvin Hagler. Yeah, you can really see that because he was not meant. He was not meant to get to where he got to, and that's what it is. He got the opportunity against Ricky Burns, and then from there he just skyrocket up. Yeah, Sandor Martin predicts. Yep, got no problem. Sorry, I said I'm there. I'm saying it to myself. Yeah, Sandor Martin predicts Regis Prograis destroys Lopez. Yeah, what I just said previously. What else we got going on? Oh yeah, actually talking about Gambosis, you have Shakur Stevenson saying he's open to fighting Gambosis in, I want to say, April time. Good, be a good fight, be a good test. I said, like I said, out of all these new crops in this division here, 140 to 135 to 140. Shakur Stevenson is the guy for me. I feel like he's just the real talent. So yeah, we'll see how that all prevails. And then what we got here? Oh yeah, Dylan Wyatt says he wants to run it back with Anthony Joshua. Now it's mad because I still ain't seen that fight with Franklin, but the bits that I've seen, like obviously I've seen like highlights of it. The bits that I've seen, Dylan White's my guy, and he's the one obviously I'm going to be rooting for him no matter what. Win, lose or draw, I'm always rooting for White. But against Anthony Joshua right now, even with Anthony Joshua going through all these, actually that's something I need to talk about as well. But with Anthony Joshua going through all these his breakdowns and that, technically, and I hate saying this, but I will still believe that Joshua now can still beat White. And I would not want to, like I said, I'm rooting for White. I wouldn't want that to happen, but I'm only going to go based on last performances. Now, Joshua, the loss that he took against Usyk in the rematch in Saudi, to be honest with you, take away the loss is actually one of, to me, Joshua's best performances. Like not his best, but one of his best. There's a lot of improvements. His pressure fighting was on point. It wasn't like it was a bit too passive for me, but you can see what he's working on with Garcia. And now obviously there's all these talks about Joshua going with Virgil Hunter, or going with I heard today that he's training with Derek James. Yeah, Right now, Joshua's all over the place. The only thing what Dylan White has over Joshua is the mindset and the heart. Like, so Dylan White, like I said, Dylan White could get knocked out 20 times, he's still coming back with that same aura. Yeah. Where Joshua's a bit, he'll pull it back. Now, so this is obviously a recap on what Hatman said in regards. Well, it's not actually not Hatman. A lot of people believe that they feel like Joshua's starting to lose. He lost his confidence from the Klitschko fight due to what did he say it was? It was due to he might be lacking in TUT, basically testosterone replacement therapy. Yeah. Now, I don't know. I don't think me. I do believe. I'm not going to get too much into the whole testosterone and all that, like the drugs and all that kind of stuff there, but I do believe Joshua lost his confidence in the Klitschko fight. But when I say he lost his confidence, I wouldn't say he lost his confidence. But remember, Joshua was blasting out everyone. When he get them hurt before, he was literally blasting everyone out. Bam, bam, bam. Now, obviously, if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you knew that Klitschko is going to be Joshua back then his toughest test. Now, Joshua hurt him in the 5th round, and I feel like obviously he went and he just blew himself out. And remember his recovery. This is how I was looking at it. His recovery was terrible. It took him I'm pretty sure it took him 2 to 3 rounds to recover, to then catch his second wind. And like I said, if Klitschko was more of a pressure fighter, or he was there for the taking, Klitschko should have just got Joshua, got him out of there. But didn't happen. I felt that's what. From then, I've always said that Joshua, he pulled back on emptying the tank, like of the famous what people say about Tunde Ajayi about emptying the tank, because he went out there in the 5th round trying to take Klitschko's head off. And when Klitschko was still standing there and he was literally blown out, I feel, obviously it comes with experience, but I feel like Joshua has not allowed himself to get back to that, to empty the tank. Like, not empty the tank, but this goal out, get your man out of there. I feel like he's always pulled back, because after that fight, he went against Takam, and he didn't do nothing really. He did nothing. That stoppage should not have happened. But that's another story. Then obviously you had the Joseph Parker fight. It went the distance with Joseph Parker. Then I think it was one of his. He was caught in between styles when he went against Povetkin. Now, obviously, he had his hands up right. Then, obviously, he got rocked in the 1st round against Povetkin. Switched the stance, dropped the left hand, giving Povetkin going for the body. I think it was one of his. Was another good performance from Joshua. It was a bit shaky, but it was a good performance from him. But he just. If that's what I try to tell people, if you go back and you look at prior to Klitschko, Joshua was blasting everyone out. And then obviously when he was introduced to the world level and he went there against Klitschko, and Klitschko was there after 5 rounds, I just felt like Joshua was saying that, mate, I ain't got nothing left there. My man's still standing. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at it. Then obviously after Povetkin, then he went there against Ruiz. Now Ruiz, Joshua looked tense in that fight. He went to try to get him out there quick. Obviously got caught, and I felt like that done more damage to his confidence. Because then after that, and I remember saying this to everyone back then. I remember saying that but Ruiz will, because of the way Joshua fights like a small man. Like obviously when he gets him close, and Ruiz's hand speed is phenomenal. I remember saying this to a lot of people. The amount of money I won off that Cleon is one of them. Put you out there. But I remember saying that now with Ruiz will, if Joshua keeps his distance, then it'd be an easy win. That's why I said in the rematch, I knew Joshua would win that. Just cruise control, stay on the back foot. You got quicker legs, and so on. So against Povetkin, not Povetkin, against Pulev was a fight where you could still see he was hesitant, but he was also doing a lot of good things in there for me. The way he jabbed to the body and come with a straight uppercut. The pull count out was my punch of the night. He was doing a lot of things that we never seen Joshua really do before. So then you had the Usyk fights. So yeah, when people talk about Joshua's confidence, I would always go with, if he, like I said, if he just has building back up again, and I just believe, him or being over in America, if he stays in America and he's go to those gyms in America where they're gonna show man no respect, no mercy, say, yo, man, sticking it on you, man, what? Former heavyweight champion, do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, but yeah, we'll see. But saying all of this, where Dylan is completely different. Dylan got sparked out by Povetkin, and we saw what Dylan done in the rematch. Yeah, I do believe the stage got to him in the Fury fight. That's what I do believe. Frankenfight, wasn't his best performance. But yeah, I need to watch that. When I watch that, I will definitely I'm not going to give a post-out review, but then I'll have my own look on it. Obviously, tomorrow we got, this is early hours in the morning. I think, no, not early hours in the morning, sorry. It's, I think it'll be around 11 o'clock our time. We've got Anaya Inoue against Paul Butler for the undisputed bantamweight. I only see one outcome in that. Inoue he's a beast, man. That guy's a beast. So, Butler, good luck. Rooting for you, but you've got a real tough test. What else we got here? John Ryder reveals how he could beat Canelo. To be honest with you, footwork and volume punches beat Canelo. That's it. Okay, and I think that is. Oh yeah, well, Adrian Broner wants Prograis after. Yeah, Broner, man. Good luck, mate. Good luck. Tim Tszyu to have a Hall of Fame. Okay, so Tim Tszyu to have Kostya Tszyu on his sides for the Charlo fight. Okay, cool. Got a good experience there. You got Eubank believes he will take down Liam Williams in 8 rounds. We'll see. Like even that fight there, obviously people say it's a 50-50. The only reason why I say the Eubank Smith fight is 50-50 is just based on it being at 160. Other than that, I ain't gonna lie, I will be, not rooting, but I would favour Smith to beat Eubank. And I do, Eubank beat Smith, that would be his best win on his resume, period. Because it's a live Smith, even though Smith is he's on a winning trot. Obviously who did he beat recently? Oh, the guy who bailed out, man, the guy who quit. his name's gone. But obviously went in there against Vargas, stopped him, stopped Fowler. Yeah. So anyway, boom. Yeah, and I think that's it. Just the usual stuff about Colin said he wants another world title shot as soon as possible. Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, that's your boxing talk. Mainly talking about boxing talk, innit? Alright, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe.